Jennifer Zerbrig's on the board here. So the two of us are going to do it. And so she can just, Jen, you can just unmute yourself now, I would say. Okay. Okay. So, you are recording. Oh my gosh. Okay. Edits. All right. So welcome to the Shred10 call. I'm Susan Baker, and Jen Zerbrig and I are going to take you through what the Shred10 program is. We're both reps with the Juice Plus company. We're both customers with the Juice Plus company. My whole family takes the capsules and the chewables, and I know Jen's got her whole family on it as well. But the other thing is that both of us have actually just led a group through the Shred10, and we've done it ourselves. And I've just finished it, and it was the best 10 days I've ever done so far. And I've done it a couple of times. So I definitely believe that if people can commit to this, they're really going to feel a difference, and it does kickstart you into healthier habits. So what I'm going to do at this point is just share my screen and find the presentation. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see this here, the Shred10 presentation. So I'm going to start us off. What this is all about tonight really is just kind of talking about why we would give ourselves this opportunity for 10 days to really clean our act up. And then the second part is, well, what does that look like? So let's just jump right in then. The Shred10 is really not about 10 pounds. It is about 10 days or even 10 habits or 10 foods. We don't want people to think of it as a quick fix, a 10-day, 10-pound loss. It is about healthy eating. So we begin with talking about there's two trends that are happening in our world right now, and everybody on this call knows this. The first thing is that we are living in a more toxic world. So environmental toxins are increasing, and there's a picture here where you can see, there's different things happening in the atmosphere. You've got, fertilizers and chemical pesticides and other runoff happening from farming, as well as industry and chemicals from industry that way. Urban runoff, cars driving. Our world is just not as healthy as it used to be. And so that's the first piece. And the second piece is that our food quality is decreasing, unfortunately. So most of us who are part of the Juice Plus company are really passionate about healthy living, and healthy eating is part of that. And so we do what we can to bring in healthy foods. But the situation we're in now is we're up against a lot more than 50 years ago. So a lot of our foods in the grocery store have chemical additives in them, whether it's preservatives, flavors, synthetic vitamins, pesticides, artificial colors, and other chemical additives. The other part is that our food is grown now in farm fields that aren't as nutrient rich. And so our food itself is not as full of nutrition as it used to be 50 years ago or 100 years ago. That means it takes a lot more, spinach to get the same amount of iron now as it did, 50 years ago. We didn't have to eat as much spinach, kind of thing. So, it's not to be negative. It's to be realistic that this is the world that we're living in right now, and certainly that our children are being born into. So it's more toxic, and our nutrients, our food supply is not as nutritious. We have to be a lot more conscious about where we're getting our food from, what's in our food, and eating healthy on a daily basis. And that's part of what is so wonderful about the Shred10 is that it gives people this opportunity to just pause. I always say, just let's press pause on our life and really focus on what healthy habits we need to bring more of into our life, and healthy foods, and what we can just pause for 10 days. So we'll get into that in a minute. The other piece of healthy living and healthy eating, and a program like Shred10, is this idea of moving away from, and you can see this on the screen, moving away from dieting or over exercising in order to lose weight. So moving away from that into actually ridding the body of toxins. So we call that cleansing. This is how you can actually lose weight or let go of weight, let go of stored fat and stored toxicity in a healthy way. What happens in the first scenario, when people just cut calories or they over-exercise in order to burn more calories, is they're literally just losing, often it's water or it could be weight, but they're not doing anything to actually nourish the body and nourish the organs and start to actually purify the body. And so once they've lost the weight and they think everything's good, they go back to their old way of eating. And because they haven't actually cleansed the junk out of the body has a tendency to protect itself because those toxins are still in there. And so it very quickly rebounds and holds on to weight really soon after the program ends. And that is the vicious cycle of dieting that people endure for decades. And that's why we really love this idea of actually purifying the body. So for 10 days, giving the body a break from some of the toxins we give ourselves regularly, like alcohol, and bringing in more of the stuff that we know actually purifies the body, like more vegetables and concentrated nutrition. And that's part of the idea behind the Shred10. So we'll go through what the 10 days actually look like, but this is where we bring something like Juice Plus in. So some of you, I think, are probably aware of what Juice Plus is, but for those of you who don't know, in the center of this picture here, you can see there are 3 bottles, red, green, and purple. Those are our capsules, and they literally have crushed, dehydrated, powdered fruits, veggies, and berries in a capsule. That's it. It's very simple. It's easy to understand. And that concentrated nutrition is what gives our body the nutrition required to do the cleansing. It is not just a short-term thing, though. It's really a long-term investment in cellular health, I call it, right? It's an investment in giving your body these deeper nutrients, micronutrients like minerals and vitamins, but also you can see in the picture here, 45 different whole foods are actually found in the Juice Plus products. So not just the capsules, but also in the complete powder. So the complete powder you can see in this image here is plant-based protein and carbohydrate. And it's a whole food-based product that also brings in a variety of plant nutrition. So between the complete powder and the capsules, you're getting 45 different plant nutrients. That is huge. That's every day if you actually follow the Shred10 guidelines, which recommends that you're taking the capsules as well as using the shake powder. And one of the things that I get really excited about for people is the variety piece. It's one thing for us to strive for 10 servings of vegetables and fruit a day, which is actually really a challenge. It's another thing to get a variety. Most of us, and I'm guilty of this, we eat the same veggies all the time. We buy the same stuff at the store. And that's great, but it only gives us the nutrition from those veggies. I never buy alfalfa sprouts. Well, alfalfa sprouts are in the Juice Plus products. So variety is really important because you get a variety of nutrients, and the body loves that. It does all sorts of things in the body to support the functions of the body. So that really provides the nutritional foundation to the program to really go deeper, to get deeper results, and really kickstart healthy eating for people. I'm going to move on, but I really do love this picture because you can see all the different things all the different fruits and veggies and other plants that are actually in this product. One of the concepts in the 10 days, the Shred10, is eating regularly and keeping your blood sugar regular. So this picture says, how often do you normally eat? Some of us will go hours and hours and hours without eating, and the blood sugar crashes. And when the blood sugar is low, we don't stand a chance against something like a quick fix piece of bread or a donut or a muffin, right? That's immediate energy. You know, when you're starving and your blood sugar is low, you're not going to warm up the chicken breast and put that on a salad, you know? And so one of the ideas with the Shred10 is for us to keep our blood sugar regular so that we have more success with healthy eating. And so the Shred10 guide provides people with meal ideas, snack ideas, and examples of what a healthy day would look like. But not only that, when you are using the complete powder to make a shake or a whole food smoothie, the protein and the nutrition that's in that shake is actually really keeping your blood sugar level. I love recommending the complete for breakfast because it really gives you a great start to the day so that you can make wise decisions on how to continue eating healthy throughout the day. And you can see that in this graph here. There's the zone of willpower is when we keep our blood sugar regular and steady. And of course, this woman's holding some kale, I guess, as a quick snack. The Juice Plus Complete shakes, as I mentioned, are low glycemic, so it keeps blood sugar stable. They're vegan and non-GMO, which is really important. They're gluten and dairy-free, which goes with the Shred10 guidelines. They're plant-based, and they're full of fiber. Prebiotic fiber is listed there, as well as short-chain starches, which actually help to feed. You can't see my gut, but to feed your gut. So you've got all this wonderful good bacteria in your digestive system. And the good bacteria require fibers and food, basically, in order to survive. But you've got to feed them the right stuff. So what is in the Juice Plus Complete powder is actually food for your good bacteria. What we're taking out of the Shred10 or these 10 days, things like sugar and alcohol, those foods or non-foods actually feed the bad bacteria. And that's partly why the Shred10 really works, is we're taking away things that the bad guys love and we're putting in more of what the good guys love. And so we shift the gut balance. And gut health is a huge trend right now. You've probably heard about it because of this idea that so much of our mind and our mood, our energy, our health is actually rooted in the gut. And so the 10 days provides this really good opportunity for us to strengthen the health of our digestive system. As I mentioned, you could have the shakes for breakfast. It could be pre or post workout, or even a snack. So sometimes if I'm in a rush, I will take the shake powder in just non-dairy milk, and I'll just shake it up and drink that back really quick. I usually drizzle in a fat in there because the complete doesn't have fat in it, so you want to add some fat in there. So maybe some olive oil or flax oil, and then you could have that just as a really quick snack. So this is the part of the presentation where we start to get into what is the Shred10 actually. What are we going to do for the 10 days? What are we committing to? And the concept is to shred the food, the toxins, and the habits that are not serving you. And I love the fact that habits are part of it because, one of the guidelines of the Shred10 is to stop eating past 7 p.m. And that's a habit that a lot of people are in. I'm guilty of it for sure. It's the end of the day, it's the wind down time, and there's just sort of a habit to be snacking in the evening. One of the things we suggest with the Shred10 is that stops. And the reason for that is it helps your digestion, but also it helps you actually burn fat overnight, and it helps your body purify and release toxins and really clean up and repair and rebuild in the hours when you stop eating, 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock if you can, to when you start eating again in the next day. So to get started, we suggest following these guidelines for 10 days. So what I might do is I can outline this, Jen, and then Jen, you might want to jump in I can't see Jen on the screen here.
I'm here.
When do you want to jump in, Jen? I'm happy to.
Now?
Okay, so why don't
Yep.
you go over, what the Shred10 is and then
Sure.
and the results that often happen.
Okay, thanks, Susan. So now that Susan's kind of explained like why we should be doing the Shred10 and how it works in your body, we'll just go over the guidelines here that you can see. So the main focus for the Shred10 is to get more whole food and fruit and veggies into your body. It is eliminating the gluten, the dairy, the caffeine, the alcohol, the refined sugars, which sometimes can scare people a little bit, but now there's so many different things that you can eat that don't have dairy and gluten in them. And it is more just getting more whole foods of fruit and veggies and, throwing out the processed foods. You're going to start your day with a shake for breakfast and building it into a smoothie. So building it into a breakfast shake, like Susan mentioned, putting in a healthy snack or a healthy fat in order to build it into more of a meal than just having it as a snack. So what we often do is we do like a rice milk or an almond milk as a handful of kale, maybe a banana, some cherries, a nut butter, and then the complete shake, so either chocolate or vanilla, and blend that up, and that would be our meal for breakfast. You're going to have a couple of snacks throughout the day, maybe another full shake as a lunch, or you can have it as a snack in the afternoon. So it takes 2 shakes in the day, the Trio Blend capsules, eliminating all the other food, the gluten, the dairy, the caffeine, the alcohol, and the sugars, and drinking plenty of water. So one of the tricks I like to do in the evening for not eating after 7 is I actually make a herbal tea. So a non-caffeinated tea in the evening. It's just, I think the habit of having something at night makes a big difference. Instead of hitting the pantry for the dark chocolate or the popcorn that I normally would want to eat, if I have that nice warm mug of tea, it's very soothing. Another trick is to brush your teeth after supper.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and you brush your teeth, you're not going to want to eat after that, right? Like, in the morning, I even know with my daughters, as soon as they brush their teeth and leave for school, if they've forgotten to, I don't know, have a snack or last bite of breakfast, like it tastes gross. So those are the main guidelines. Can you scroll up a bit there, Susan?
Hold on, let me get back on my, there we are.
Right, and not eating past 6. So there's that little asterisk there. There's plenty of us who commute or have, jobs that you're not home by 6 to have supper done. So you just need to pick a time that works for you. We typically say 7:30, as long as there's that 12 hours in between that your body can fast before your next meal the next day.
And I'll just point out the Shred guide in the middle there. It's every participant who does the Shred10 actually gets this electronic version of that Shred guide, and it is wonderful. It's full of information, but also pages and pages of recipes, which are, give you some inspiration and motivation.
Yes, and we have a brand new cookbook actually for Shred10 that are all Shred10 based meals. So that also comes with the program. So a lot of the different results are, when you're flooding your body every single day with those 45 phytonutrients from the shakes and the Trio capsules, your body starts to crave more of the good stuff. You start craving more water, you crave more fruits and vegetables. I know for myself, I'm not sore after workouts anymore like I used to be. I'm just not as achy the next day. You'll have better sleep. When I go to sleep, it's like I hit the pillow and I sleep. I'm out for the night. And I'm a mom and I still hear the kids if I need to, but I fall right back asleep. So that was a really big change for me. Lot of increased energy, better skin, better nails, better hair, because your overall body is just shedding out all of the junk and your body gets a chance to do what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to feel good, right? Not we forget that. One thing I love as well about Juice Plus on the next slide is how many research articles we have. So the person who invited you to this call tonight can definitely get you in touch if you wanted to read or skim through the articles. But we are in over 30, I think it's over 35 now, published studies based on actual humans taking Juice Plus. So it's taking the capsules or taking the complete powders. It's not, some animal or vitamin C is good and that's in this, so this is good. It's actually our product that's been studied to show many different benefits, that we can give you more information about that. So there's a few different things that you can do when you decide to do the Shred 10. You can do basically just one shake a day if you'd like, or a shake plus the capsules. Or if you wanted to do the full Shred 10, which is what we recommend because it's a very good jumpstart into healthier habits, is the 2 shakes a day with the Trio Blend capsules. So that's listed here as like the premium Shred package. But that would give you the most benefit for a long-term healthier habits. Because like we mentioned, it's not a quick fix. It's not a fad. It's not about that. It's not a diet. It is just shedding away those unhealthy habits that aren't serving you anymore and learning how to nourish your body every single day so that you can have the most benefits. So one thing I loved as a mom when I was first introduced to Juice Plus was the fact that the kids could get theirs for free. So we do have a children's health study, which allows us, when you order a Trio Blend capsules, which is the 3 blend capsules, the red, green, and purple, to have the kids order of the gummies for free. So instead of it just being, mom or dad on this health kick, the entire family can benefit. And some of the results that they find from the study is that the children are drinking more water. They're missing less school due to being sick. They're not seeing the doctor as much. So then therefore you're not taking time off work. And I know in my family, after this terrible winter with a lot of flu and sickness, it was the first time my kids didn't get bronchitis. And my 6-year-old had bronchitis every winter since she was born. So for us, that's a huge improvement. And it just helped bridge that gap for her and get that nutrients in her every single day as a baseline to ensure that her body can function the way it should. So I think that's probably explained on the next slide about the kids being able to eat for free. So I'm not sure if, did you want to add anything to that, Susan?
Nope.
Great. So I think that's kind of the end of the presentation. Is there anybody with any questions that you want to ask while we're on here? The person who invited you tonight would be more than happy to get started when you do sign up for a Shred 10. The representative is doing it alongside you. We always often like to do it in groups because everything's more fun with friends. If you are part of a Facebook group, you get the Shred guide, like Susan mentioned, also the cookbook, and daily check-ins to see how everybody's doing, motivation, because it's more fun when everybody can start to feel better and have the benefits together. I've done a Shred 10 now. I think this would have been my 3rd. And it does get easier as you do it because you kind of get used to the guidelines and you know what's happening. But I think this time I've felt the more energy and just easier to say no to the stuff that I know isn't good for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I might do is just come out of the presentation and we can just take some questions from people. If we do the full screen there, we can see people. Thanks, Jen. So yeah, it's something that, most of us would highly recommend. I always make a point of at least, doing it every couple of months. And I'm always amazed by how I feel every time. By about day 4 or 5, I just feel that much lighter, better energy, better mood, and everything gets easier. And what Jen said, it's not a quick fix. And one of the things we all love about it is that there's a lot of flexibility in the program as well. So it's not a vegetarian program. It's not a high fat or high protein diet. It really is about looking at the way you eat and then you deciding, well, you know what, I probably need more vegetables. I probably could have a smaller piece of red meat, or whatever it is. But that the other guidelines are consistent. The finishing eating by 6, more water, more veggies, the Juice Plus capsules, right? So there's some foundational things that make it easy then for all of us to do the program together.
Yeah, and I find too, it kind of starts to shift your brain a little bit, that you start thinking about what other veggies can I try? I'm used to having the 5 I like that we buy every week at the store, but then you think, okay, well, and with the recipe guide as well, like it gives you some really great options and ideas, but it's just a way of opening up your brain a little to what else you can be trying.
Mm-hmm. Any questions from people tonight? Okay, or any other testimonials people want to share? No? Okie doke. Well, we're at 9:35, so if everybody's good, then we can wrap it up. Yeah, I would just suggest you get in touch with whomever is your friend who told you about the program to see when the next group is running, and you get yourself all set up. Put it in your calendar so that you've got it and you're able to commit, and really enjoy. Okay, thanks for joining tonight.
Thanks, everybody.